Hey guys, it's Sid and I am back for my 29-week video. Okay, so a couple different things have happened this week. I think probably the biggest thing is that I went in for my next appointment. It was August 22nd, so like this past Wednesday, and up until now I've been doing, well, besides when they were like checking out my cervix, I've been doing like once a month appointments. So it'd been a month since my last appointment, and I kind of expected it to be like the appointments before I had been getting my cervix checked, which is literally just like going in there, hearing his heartbeat, and then asking any questions and leaving. But this time she actually did do a little bit more. She like had me lay down on the little table and she took a measuring tape and she said that she was going to measure my bump basically from like the top, I don't think you can see, but from like the top of my belly to like the bottom of my belly, like measuring the bump itself. And that she was going to measure it in centimeters, and that the amount of centimeters should match up to what my week was, so I should have been 29 centimeters. And she said that I was right on par, everything looked good there, which was awesome. That's just to like make sure that he is growing the way that he should and that my fluid levels are high enough, because I guess, you know, obviously if they weren't high enough then my bump wouldn't be big enough. And things like that, but she said everything looked good, and she also kind of just did, you know, some feeling around on my belly and was able to tell me that he is more towards like the bottom left side of my stomach, but he's also kind of like cockeyed a little bit, which makes sense to me. I think last week I had talked about possibly feeling him hiccup, but this week this is like related to what I was just talking about. Don't think I'm just going off on a tangent. I promise I'm not, but it's related because I have definitely now this week felt him hiccup for sure, 100%, and that is exactly where I felt him hiccuping, was down in my lower left side of my tummy, and it was really cute. She said that that's a really good thing that I'm feeling him hiccup. She said that indicates good, but not bone development, brain development. So that's like a really awesome thing that I'm feeling him hiccup. That's really encouraging. So that is really good. I love that. Let's see, and then at this appointment I also had to do my gestational diabetes test, which basically, if you don't know what that is, it's possible for your body to develop diabetes strictly when you're pregnant. So it's not like type 1 diabetes or type 2 diabetes. It just has to do with your body while it's pregnant, and then once you would have the baby, if you had gestational diabetes, then, sorry, there's like hair floating everywhere. But if you had it once you had the baby, then it would go away and you wouldn't have it anymore. And some ladies' bodies just have a tendency to do that. Every pregnant lady pretty much gets it, regardless of like any kind of symptoms that they're having and stuff like that. And so you have to go in this room and you have to drink this, if you've seen like the mini Gatorades, obviously not like the big ones, but the mini ones, it's pretty much a bottle exactly like that, but it has this like orange liquid in it, and it tastes like flat orange Fanta, and it's super sweet, and because they like pack it with sugar, so when you go in, you're not supposed to have like really eaten or drinking anything. I had like some scrambled eggs for breakfast. My midwife told me that would be okay, but you can't have like cereal or just like anything that would have any kind of like sugar in it, because you drink this drink and it like floods your body with sugar, and then after an hour then you come back in and they take your blood and then they measure like your sugar levels and compare them to like where they're supposed to be with that amount of sugar. So they're just trying to control the amount of sugar that's in you. So with the amount of sugar that they gave you compared to like what it should look like with, you know, normal insulin function, I guess, and then if you were to have gestational diabetes, what that would look like. And so she told me that no news means good news, and so, I mean, it's only been 2 days, but I haven't received a call from them, and so obviously hoping that I wouldn't. The other reason she said that I might receive a call from them is if I was low in iron, which I'm going into I'm actually in my third trimester, but like at the very beginning, and in your third trimester, iron becomes even more important than it was during the rest of the pregnancy. You really need to like pack yourself with iron at the end of your pregnancy, and so I could have like anemia, and if that were true, then they'd have to figure something out, obviously, for that, probably like iron supplements or whatever, which I wouldn't be 100% surprised if I did have that problem, just because before I got pregnant, I was anemic or am anemic. It's kind of hard to tell because I've been taking like supplements and stuff, and so I don't know if I'm technically still anemic when I have enough iron, but it's only because I'm taking the supplements, and if I stopped then I wouldn't have enough iron. I don't know. I guess that technically makes me anemic. Anyway, and so it wouldn't surprise me if my iron was lower than it should be, long story short, but I haven't received a call, so hopefully everything's just looking good, because I have been taking like my supplements like I'm supposed to. So that was something. It did make me feel like really jittery, which makes sense because you haven't really had anything to eat and then your body is just like packed with sugar. So I felt really jittery, a little bit like kind of lightheaded. Like as soon as I got done with my appointment, I was like, I need something to eat. So I obviously got something and felt a lot better, and I was like starting to get a headache and everything. So yeah, I felt a lot better after I ate. But the fun thing was that so like obviously sugar goes through your body and it affects your child's body kind of the same way that it would your body, and it's like going through him too, because you know everything's connected. And so it made him like wake up a lot, and it made him move a lot, which was pretty cool, just because he was in there like dancing around because he was not used to the huge amount of sugar that he just got, which he doesn't stay awake very much during the day, so that was cool. And I also asked her, I've had problems, not even problems, but it's just like when I go to like take a walk sometimes, or when I like I was at a wedding and I was dancing and I felt this kind of like cramp around the bottom of my stomach, and I kind of just pushed through it, and it like didn't really bother me that much. It wasn't like super painful, but I was just like, is this something that I should be concerned about? And she said at that point, if I am feeling that, it's probably because I have done just a little bit too much that day physically. And if I start feeling that, I should go sit down and drink some water and just kind of chill out. She said it's kind of a mixture of you know, my ligaments, but then also like Braxton Hicks contractions, which I haven't felt anything. I know some ladies by now have felt like Braxton Hicks contractions where they're like, I know that's what this is, and like I feel them all the time or whatever, which that is the only time that I've ever felt any kind of actual like cramping or anything like that, is just when I've, I guess, been doing too much. And so if I have had Braxton Hicks contractions by now, besides those, I have no idea, which could just be because it's my first pregnancy, or it could be because I haven't had any, which would be also normal. Which Braxton Hicks contractions are literally just, they're kind of like practice contractions, but not really. They're, from what I've heard, they're like not painful. They also are not indicative of labor. If I were to have 5 Braxton Hicks contractions a day right now, like that would be totally okay. That doesn't mean I'm going into labor. That doesn't mean I'm going into labor soon. It's just kind of your body's way of starting to prepare. It's totally fine. She said, my midwife said, the only way that it would worry her is if there was any bleeding that was like accompanying them, which I have not had a single drop of blood since my last period. Honestly, like I didn't have any kind of implantation bleeding or anything, so I've not had any kind of bleeding, which is totally normal and totally good, especially at this point. Obviously you don't want any kind of bleeding. So yeah, that was my doctor's appointment for this week. We are almost done painting the nursery. I have one wall that I want to do stripes on, and so we have to do the stripes, and after that we should be done as far as painting his nursery. And then I have a piece of furniture that I want to paint before we put in there, but honestly it's starting to come together, as well as, I know I mentioned last week, the baby shower that is starting to like really be planned, and I really need to go do my registry, which I have not done yet, so I'm probably going to go do that soon too, like within the next couple days. School has just gotten kind of crazy, so that, I mean, which of course, like I knew it would. It's just been kind of hard to balance everything, so trying to just figure that whole situation out But yeah, and I had a dentist appointment this week, which I haven't had in a long time, like a long time, like I was really overdue. And unfortunately I did end up with one cavity, which kind of sucks. She said that it wasn't bad. She said that it wasn't, you know, I'm not in danger of like needing a root canal or anything like that. She said it's fine. She said that I could go ahead and do the filling now, or I could wait until after he's born. Like, it's not like a major concern. It just needs to be filled at some point. Part of me wants to do it now just because I want to get it over with, especially because like once he's born I'm not going to want to like leave him to go get a cavity filled. But at the same time, she did say that they use different anesthesia when you're pregnant than when you're not pregnant, and I should have asked, but I didn't really think about it, so I need to kind of like look into what that looks like. I don't know exactly what that means, like if they would still give me a shot but it would just be of something different, or what exactly they would do. So I want to look into that. I had some problems, like at the beginning I didn't have any problems laying in the chair, but of course, you know, they have to lay you back, and after probably 10 or 15 minutes I was starting to feel really uncomfortable, and she like kind of noticed, and she obviously like knows that I'm pregnant, and she's like, you can turn if you need to, like it doesn't bother me, you know, I can do your cleaning with you on one side or the other if that would help. So I did end up turning and I felt a lot better, but that's something that worries me as far as if I was going to go in and get my filling done. I know that it doesn't take that long, but I would worry because I don't think that it would be as easy for me just to like turn over and then still be able to access it the way that they need to. So that would worry me just because, you know, that is something, like I get very uncomfortable. I start to feel kind of like I'm going to throw up laying in that position, and so I would worry about that. I don't know exactly how that would work as well, so I just need to kind of figure those things out, but they could do it now, and I kind of just want to get it over with, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think those were honestly the big things that happened this week for week 29. Next week will be week 30, and I honestly almost just wanted to like tear up thinking about that because then I'll have 10 weeks left, like 10 weeks or less, honestly. I mean, unless I go over, but I feel like, I don't know, part of me feels like I could, but part of me feels like I won't, so I don't know. But that's exciting and crazy and scary. And as far as the tearing up thing, that's another thing. I have felt so much more emotional this week in general. I don't know why. I get really angry easily or like irritable. I also cry a lot more easily than I normally would, and I don't know, because I feel like that's supposed to happen mainly in your first trimester, and I did have that some of my first trimester, and then second trimester I've been normal, and now I'm going into my third trimester, and now I'm feeling it again, which I don't know. I feel like that's kind of weird, but that is just how I've been feeling this week. It's just very kind of unfortunately just kind of sad and anxious and angry and unmotivated, which like sounds so dramatic. I'm not like depressed or anything. I just kind of have struggled a little bit this week to stay positive for some reason. I think it's just hormones. There's not like anything huge going on. But yeah, so that's been kind of sad, but hopefully that will clear up within the next week or two. But yeah, so I think that's it for this week, y'all, and I'm going to go ahead and measure my belly. I did find my measuring tape, so I will have that this week. And yeah, so let's go ahead and do it. Alright, y'all, so this is my belly for this week. It is obviously getting bigger and bigger, and it's kind of insane. But this is my 29-week belly. That's what I'm looking like. So there's the shirt on, and then pulling the shirt up. Here is what I am. Okay, and then with the tape measure, moment of truth. It's been a while since I have measured, and I'm gonna try and I guess go back and look and see what I was the last time I actually measured. I think I was at like 24 weeks that time, but now it looks like I'm almost, almost 39, or right at 39. Yeah, I'm right around 39 inches, so we shall see. I don't remember at all what I was, but again, of course, that was like a long time ago, so we will see. Alright, y'all, that is it for this week, week 29, so I will see you guys next week for week 30. Goodbye.